Great Monday morning, everyone. How are you all doing? This is your girl, Shan. Happy Monday. We at the start of another week, another great week. So I hope you all had a blessed and relaxing weekend. Just took some time kind of for yourself and stuff like that. But I want to go ahead like I always do every Monday and just remind you all about our radio show on tonight. 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, Marriage Mondays with the Kings on KRGN 98.5 FM. Hey, Cousin Kim. Tonight's topic, we will be discussing secrets in marriage. Secrets in marriage. Question of the day being, if you're married, why do you feel that you need to keep secrets from your husband and wife? Hey, Dalisha. I know y'all like, dang, y'all messy. Y'all starting stuff. I promise you, when you listen to our radio show, your mind may think, oh, Lord, they're going to get into some stuff like we was talking about God hate divorce, the last 2 weeks and stuff like that. But that's not actually, once you listen to it, what our radio show end up being. So that's again tonight on KRGN. You can go to your app store, Google Play Store, type in KRGN FM, and you can download the Royal Blue and White app. Now, today's topic I'm going to get into is love me through my brokenness. Love me through my brokenness. I know y'all sitting up like, Shan, hey, God be dropping stuff in my spirit and I'll be writing it down like, okay, I'll talk about it. I'm just going to put it out there like this, and I don't even think we realize that we do this. Most of the time when you get upset with your spouse, it's 9 times out of 10 because of some brokenness that you, let's talk about the individual, have within you that you desire for you want your spouse to fix. Y'all know I'm going to give some good old examples. Hey, Tara, I'm going to give, because some of y'all might be like, no. Let me give some good old examples to break it down and make it plain. So, growing up, you know what I'm saying? I had one person, which was my grandpa, rest in heaven, Papa, that when I had any issues, hey, Angela, or anything that I was going through, I could go to my Papa and I could talk to him and he wouldn't judge me and whatever the case may be, because life was a little hard, in my opinion, when I was younger. And so, what is one of the things that I would want my spouse to do? I would want my husband to be that comfort, be that sounding board for me, because that was my place of comfort growing up in my brokenness. Now, let's say Kenya wasn't the type that he would sit up and listen to me and, I could share my heart with him or whatever the case may be that will cause issues in our marriage. Let me flip to the guys real quick, because I was thinking about this, and I pray and hope that for us who are mothers and fathers, when it comes to our sons, that we do not do this. But think about this. Think about how it's often associated with a guy having to hold his feelings in. He can't talk about anything. He can't, you know what I'm saying? Because if he showed too much emotion, let's be real about it, he's classified as a punk. You're soft. You're not supposed to be talking about what you're going through and da. Well, flip side of that is when we, as the women, get married to that man and we sit up and like, okay, well, what's your mind? What's on your heart? Or whatever the case may be. And he'd be like, no, I'm good. Because that's what they say, right? Oh, I'm good. Oh, I'm fine. You sit up here thinking, no, you're not. I can tell by the way you acting. And guess what that creates in the marriage? That makes us, and I can't talk about our women, but that makes us as wives feel some kind of way, because what is it about me where my husband doesn't trust to open up to me, where he won't tell his feelings and share his feelings? What, am I less than? Look, was you sharing your feelings? And then you get to asking questions like this. Well, who did you used to talk to and da. I'm going to tell you how this came about. Good morning, Simone. I'm going to tell you how this came about. So me and my husband was on our way to go see clients this weekend on Saturday, and the Breakfast Club was on. And I cannot remember. I think he's a pastor, and I think he's married to Megan Good, but I can't remember the man's name. Anyway, he had wrote a book, and he was talking about the book and different things like that. And he was talking about how when he was growing up, how it's said, and the guys can attest to this, and some of y'all women had heard this too, but how it's said that, oh, all you got is one girlfriend? Oh, no, you need to get more girlfriends than that, this, that, and the other. And he started talking about the things that are taught and inherited to us in our childhood that we use in our adulthood, and we don't recognize to adulthood that is wrong. And so me and my husband started having this conversation. He was like, the thing to get me? And I said, what is that, baby? He said, people don't communicate anymore, especially when it comes to relationships and it comes to marriage. And I was like, why you say that? And see, that's how let me help some women out. We talk at our husband, but this is the thing that I've learned about, and all men ain't like this. But I know for my husband and male friends that I used to have back in the day before me and him said I do, when you ask something of your husband inquisitively, you're inquiring their opinion, you get more responses. But if you talking at them like they a dog and they your son and all this other kind of stuff, then they will shut up. So I said, well, baby, why is that? What make you say that? And he said, because he said, when you learn how to communicate, and this may be for my singles engaged, when you learn how to communicate with the individual whom you with effectively, you learn things about them at a deeper level. And so if you're single or you're engaged, check this out. Get to asking those, like I said, quit asking all them pretty questions. Now, I ain't saying ask no questions like where the person to think you're a stalker or anything, but ask some true questions. How was your childhood growing up? What did you think about it? Who was the person that you used to go to and communicate with when you were going through in your childhood? Maybe dating experiences, We talk about that first, but we don't talk about the root stuff. And what you have to understand is the responses in which you get will give you insight deeper into the person that you're about to say I do to. I'm just straight up telling you the truth of, what I know and what I heard. So he was like, when you take the time to get to know someone, because think about it, y'all. I don't know what these new youngs, that's what I call them, the little young kids. I don't know what they do today, but what did we used to do? We be on that phone. Some of y'all was on rotary and some had that one phone that looked like a banana. You put up in the cord and you be on the phone. You be talking. What you doing? What you doing? It be 2:00 in the morning. You done fell asleep and you wake up at 6 o'clock and you know what I'm saying? Because you communicated with that individual. He said the problem nowadays is people are just jumping into marriage, not knowing what they doing, or they jumping into relationships. He said, then they just winging it. And they wonder why the marriage is not working. How many of us have jumped into situations just winging it, and then we sit up here and wonder why it don't work? And then we sit up here and we want to blame the husband. We want to blame the wife. No. When we are broken, and that was one of the things that I was thinking about when it comes to tonight's radio show. When we are broken, I was broken when I met my husband. But what I did was I had a conversation with him before when he told me he was getting serious and was like he wanted to make me his wife. Hold on. And maybe I did that to kind of run him off, to be honest. But, now I'm happy I'm still married to him. But I was like, no, let me go ahead and tell you some of the things that I've been dealing with. I told him my secrets. You see what I'm saying? And that's what tonight's show's about. I told him my secrets that I may not have told anybody else because I thought it only to be fair. And I think I was like 19 years old. And this is what my mindset was. I didn't know nothing about marriage. I didn't know nothing about having a good relationship, and nobody taught me how to be a wife. But I thought it only to be fair to let him know some of the things that I was wrestling with and my secrets so he can make a sound decision of whether or not he still wanted to go forward with the relationship or not. Let me tell you what we do. We have all this brokenness. We hide it. We get married because sometimes in our mind, we think once we get married, things will get better, things will change. I'm not worried about it. You know what I'm saying? And then when we come into it, our husband or our wife can strike a chord or they can rub us the wrong way, but it really equates to something from our childhood. And then we sitting up here arguing with them, dogging them out and telling them that they the worst husband or wife ever. No, baby, we need to learn how to deal with our brokenness. What are some things, and this is an individual question that you still wrestle with on today? Some of my brokenness was insecurity. I was insecure like a mug. No one ever validated me. Like I had a conversation with a beautiful woman, a guy yesterday, and we were talking about how important it is to validate your children. Tell your children that they're beautiful. Now, I ain't talking about puff their head up. Oh, baby, you're going to be an NBA star, and that joker can't even handle the ball. They can't even go from left to right. Don't lie to your kids. Validate your kids. You are beautiful. You are smart. You are handsome. You see what I'm saying? Tell them these things. Encourage them in such a way. But what happened is I had insecurity. I had issues with trust. How many of us are still wrestling with this on today? And see, what we really tell ourselves in our mind that it should be the responsibility of the husband or the wife to fix this. Well, if you have a brokenness and you can't even identify that brokenness, you see what I'm saying? Then how is it that your husband or your wife's supposed to love you through that brokenness? Now, when you broke, You talk to people crazy. Now I'm going to equate this to finances and I'm going to equate this to emotions. Let's go to the finances. When you grow up broke, you hungry, you don't know how the bills gonna get paid, this and this and this, that usually creates a nasty attitude. Think about it. When you got more coins in your bank account and you feel more comfortable, then that's less likely for you to talk to people like they're crazy. When you are emotionally broken, and some may say, I grew up with my mom and daddy. I grew up with a good, no. Because you know how the saying goes, hurt people hurt people. When you hurt, you go intentionally say things out of your mouth to destroy and tear other people down. Hurt people hurt people. That's why when people would talk to me crazy, the flesh in me, the old Shan, wanted to get in there behind. I'm just going to be honest. But since I've been walking with the Lord and remembering how I was raised in the church and remembering that it wasn't even worth it, I don't even have to say nothing to them. When somebody talk to me crazy, they give me attitude, I'm like, oh, you hurt. Because hurt people hurt people. You see what I'm saying? That's where that phrase and that term came from. So if you feel like you're intentionally hurting your spouse in your marriage, where's that hurt coming from in you? Because when we show the love of God, like it says in the scriptures, and we be lovers one to another, we're showing love and things like that, and God is up in us, then we're not hurting our spouses. And see, this is the thing that burns me up. When the husband or the wife, they come to their spouse. If I go to my husband and I say, baby, you look, and I'm calm. I ain't acting a fool like I used to in the earlier part of our marriage, but I'm calm and I say, you know what, baby, I would really like to share my heart with you because this is what's really been on my mind. I'm not coming to him to attack him. I'm sharing with him some brokenness within inside me. When your husband or your wife and they come to you and they sharing their heart, number one, don't act like you busy with everything else and everything else take priority. If you can't even set your electronic device down, then you need to check yourself. I'm going to tell you right there, that's a sorry behind move. That makes for a sorry husband and wife if you can't set down anything else that distracting you so you can be there for your husband or your wife when they are trying to share their heart with you. That's number one. Number two, when they try to share their heart with you and it's coming from a place of brokenness, then I want you to look at this. You don't have to always, because this is what the husbands do, and thank God, that's how God created y'all to be. But you don't have to always try to fix the problem of the individual, of your wife. You don't. Sometimes all she needs for you to do is listen and to hold her, to hug her. You know what I'm saying? That's where this title comes from. Love me through my brokenness. I don't need you to fix it. I just need you to be there for me. Actually, if I'm broken, it would be wrong of me to expect my husband Kenya to fix all of my problems, because he can't, because brokenness is internal. You see what I'm saying? I ain't talking about, oh, I broke a nail and then my husband like, okay, well, let me go take you to get your nail fixed. That's fixing the external. I'm talking about the brokenness on the internal. And we do not understand how the brokenness on the inside of us, how it manifests itself on the outside of us. Like our bishop used to say in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, it's all about the heart condition. If your heart is broke from something that mama or daddy did in the past and you ain't dealt with that, but you've been lying to yourself, going on talking about, well, as soon as I get married, it's going to fix that, baby. It's not. Because I'm telling you, the devil knows what it needs to take to pull that nastiness out of you so it can continue to break the relationships that you have around you. People can't love you through your brokenness. Your husband or your wife can't love you through your brokenness. If first, you don't identify that you are broken. Second, you don't identify what has broken you. And third, you don't open up to your husband or your wife and you tell them. Now, I've heard too many wives especially say this. Well, I tried to open up, but it's no use in talking to my husband because he don't want to hear it. He act like he not interested. Sir, I'm going to need you to get your whole life, your soul, and get your behind together, okay? Because you can't expect your marriage to be great. Now, on the flip side of that, because y'all know it's equal opportunity up in here, wives, you can't expect your husband to share his brokenness with you when every time he began to try to talk to you because he never had anybody to listen to him, because he grew up with people telling him men don't share their emotions, and he's sitting up here, he's providing, he's doing all the things that he's supposed to do as a man that he know the best to do, but he don't open up to you because you sit up here and act like talking to your family member, your girlfriend is more important. You sitting up here shutting him down. Oh, here we go with this stuff again that you talking. Don't nobody want to hear that. Aren't you a man? You're not supposed to be, baby, I'm going to need you to check yourself, your whole behind, and get yourself together. We need to get to the place that we can express our brokenness and share our heart with our husband and wife. It don't make no sense to be married to them for 40 years and you can't even share what you're going through without judgment. You see what I'm saying? Because don't nobody want to be judged. And furthermore, like me and my husband always say, when your husband or your wife open up their heart to you, that does not give you permission to go and tell the whole world about what they shared with you. If you don't know how to deal with what they shared with you, and you the type, you mouth of the South, you can't keep your mouth closed, I suggest you to get to praying. Let God be your sounding board. You pray for your husband. You see what I'm saying? You pray for your wife, and then you pray to God that he can help you deal with whatever it is that they've shared with you. So, at the end of the day, learn how to love our husbands or our wives through our brokenness. That's where, when you love them through their brokenness, you will see your marriage come together even more. You will get back to the place of laughter. Some of y'all don't even laugh with your husband or your wife right now because it's so serious. And you say, well, we don't really show emotion in our marriage or whatever because everything that we got going on. Okay, that don't make no sense. You laughed and joked at the beginning of y'all marriage, right? Oh, you didn't? Okay, that's a whole nother video. I'm not going to get into it. But for those of you who had an enjoyable dating experience with your husband or your wife, joke and have a good time, and then you sit up and wonder, what happened? Where did it go? Why do we not laugh and joke like we used to anymore? Things didn't used to be like this. And you start thinking, love your spouse through their brokenness. So again, tonight, Marriage Mondays with the Kings, our radio show topic, we will be talking about secrets in marriage on KRGN 98.5 FM. Go to your app store, type in KRGN space FM, download that royal blue and white app, and let us know what you difficulty. So just let us know what y'all think about on tonight's show. Your girl Shannon be back beyond tomorrow, whatever God placed on her heart. Have a blessed day. Blessings to you. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Share this because it's free. And I will talk to you all tomorrow. God bless.